Okay, so today we are going to take this whole stencil thing a step further. I have been becoming more frustrated about this line around the side, so I've decided I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to take these lovely spider web and I'm actually going to cut my stencil. I'm going to try to create some lines that just flat out disappear, so that when we get our stencil wet, these lines won't bleed all over the place and just make a triangle. Or just make a rectangle. So I'm going to try to force the issue and just kind of clip away to help create this spider web look. So I'm going to do this. I encourage you to think outside the box and cut your stencil up. Get rid of these edges because, wow, they're just annoying. Now, someone might say they're harder to store, but yeah, they might be harder to store. But I think the effect that we get from them is a lot prettier. I like the aesthetic rather than storing them, so I'm going to continue to do this. All right, so I'll meet you guys back here after I clip the rest of this out. All right, so I have to say that was oddly satisfying to do that. All right, let me clean this up. All right, so now what I'm going to do is take my favorite dark tint, which is this Daniel Smith neutral tint watercolor. I just like it because of the way it separates. I like the color scheme of it. It's not too green, it's not too blue, it's not too purple. It's all the things, and then later if I want to add some of these darker blacks like the Noir or the Kuretake, I can do that. So here we go. My watercolor right where I want it. And we're going to let it dry on this side. Since we're not using markers that dry really fast, we're just going to paint right on it. So we're not painting on the paper this time, we're painting on the stencil to get paint to dry on it. Once you get that certain viscosity, it does get a little bit easier to paint on there. I can kind of go back and forth a little more quickly, just as long as the paint is adhering. And as I go, I am becoming a little more messy with it, I guess. So I'm going to continue to put this Daniel Smith neutral tint on this side. So these are going to bleed out at different rates because there's different amounts of pigment on different areas. And I think I might actually want to go and add some turquoise to maybe at the last little bit, just to get that other little pop and maybe something to, so the colors will bleed out in a beautiful way. I hope this encourages you to look at your stencils a little bit differently, because this is actually fun. I like that these are unique every time. You know, we're doing something different with this manufactured cookie cutter stencil, but this way we're making it our own. We're making it even more unique to us. Of course, you can use any colors you want to. I'm just choosing black just because I've been interested in how different brands of black and dark colors behave. Not all of them are created equally, that's for sure. That's why there's so many different choices out there. They do different things for us, but you have to experiment to figure it out, to figure out your supplies and how you can utilize them in a more unique way to you. And then I'll flip it over. Okay, so that other side is now mostly dry. I know there's going to be some bleed through to this other side, but I do want to add a little bit more of that same Daniel Smith neutral tint. I'm really just going to hit the middle of where all these webs come together on each one. Okay, I think I'm going to try to add some blue in between the webs. I want to do this turquoise color, and I'm just going to pop this maybe in between the webs, a few of these lines. I'm not doing much blue, just want a few little hints to bleed when we put this in between our watercolor papers. I think I might be ready to see what this guy looks like. So we have this prepared on both sides. I am going to prepare 2 sheets of watercolor paper. Get that one all wet, and then I'm going to get one more. Okay, I have both sheets ready, 2 pieces of watercolor paper all wet, ready to go. I'm going to grab our stencil that we custom made. No one else has a stencil like this now because we cut it. Isn't that cool? And I'm going to set it down and then sandwich this other one. Then I'm going to weight this down and we'll come back and look at it together. And I hope it is just as beautiful as I think it's going to be. Okay, so this has been drying for about an hour and I can't believe I waited that long. I'm usually so impatient, but I think it's going to pay off. So let's do this together. Awesome. Here's the first one. Ooh, and I like how the blue is coming out a little bit in between. And then yeah, look at that. Very cool. I like it a lot. So the top one where we put the blue shows up a little bit more, but it's kind of more mysterious. So yeah, after we pulled this print, we can actually then go back in and use this to our advantage and just continue on pulling some of these lines wherever we want them. Come and intersect here, you know, pull this one down, over, make it anything you want. But at least now you don't have to battle with this being the edge. You can make whatever edge you want with any of your designs. This one over here's got the blue in it, so why not grab some of that blue and continue these lines. So yeah, you guys get it. I hope this helped. I hope this helps you utilize your stencils to a higher potential, and I hope you guys enjoy this. I'll see you next time.